Taurus, what if I told you that on August 28th, you are reaching the end of a story that you have been living for the last 23 years? A story about wishes fulfilled, wishes denied, changes in friendships, money arriving suddenly and then maybe also disappearing suddenly. But still, you trusted yourself when life kept changing the game and the plan that you were relying on. You know, Taurus, at the end of August, the Pisces lunar eclipse in your 11th house is showing you that you made it through the upheaval since 2003, the uncertainty, the hard lessons, the unexpected turn. And now the lunar eclipse in Pisces is bringing a final message for you, the truth at the end of it all. And as we know, the truth sets you free. So Taurus, this story goes all the way back to 2003 when the Pisces area of your chart, my chart, everybody's chart, was besieged by one astrology transit after another. 2003, we had Uranus in Pisces bringing upheaval. 2011, Neptune into Pisces, bringing the fog. 2023, Saturn in Pisces, bringing the hard lessons. And in 2025, the North Node in Pisces brought redirection to our lives. But through it all, you decided what to do with those energies. You made the choices. You lived the story. You wrote the book. And now Mercury in Virgo is with the sun opposite this lunar eclipse with the Pisces moon. Mercury brings some information, the final details of this long story in the Pisces area of your chart. So we're going to turn to the final page with the tarot. After everything that you have lived through the last 23 years and chosen and learned, what truth is being revealed at the end of this era? All right, Taurus, the truth being revealed in your 11th house. Hopes, wishes, dreams, friendships, connections, personal gains. Lots of changes that went on in this area of your chart. What were some of those? Let us know in the comments. All right, we're going to do a 3-3-3 spread. Let's see what we have going on here for you. Because there may be, this final truth, this last hurrah with this lunar eclipse in Pisces. All right, let us see. What do we have for you? Oh, we have a 5 of Swords. And we have the moon. Okay. We have the 2 of Swords. The King of Cups, the Sun in your heart, the 6 of Coins, Judgment, 3 of Swords, and the 8 of Coins. And we have the 5 of Cups on the bottom here. Okay, wow, interesting. Let's see what's under that. The Hierophant, your energy, and the energy of learning lessons. Right, spiritual lessons, karmic contracts as well. All right, let me give you my quick kind of psychic feeling here. We know that lunar eclipses can bring out very intense and heavy emotions. I'm kind of looking at this last line here as something that might be going on. It could also just be a memory. I want to emphasize that here. Okay? Because in your heart, you have the Sun card, and this is the Leo energy. And Leo is your 4th house of your inner world. It's also home and family, okay? But it is to like your stability. And your heart is stable. Like your heart is filled with peace and joy. And I mean, look at this, the sun, the beautiful sunflower, like you've transformed. You see the butterflies also here. It's like you have been through so much transformation and you're holding on to your joy. Nobody is freaking going to steal your joy. So whatever is going on over here around you, and also with this card of balance next to you, the Six of Coins, the Libra energy, your sister sign, right? This is your house of work and well-being. So it's like you have fought too hard to keep your emotional, because the King of Cups is showing up here, well-being. Like you're not, whatever this might be down here, like you're not going to let it ruffle your feathers. Okay. And we have the Five of Cups on the bottom. So yeah, there may be some nostalgia. There could be something poignant going on that reminds you of somebody, like I said, but also like you're continuing to do the work, Eight of Coins, on yourself, on whatever projects you have going on. This is what I'm saying. Like this energy to me is like you're able to hold both of these emotions at the same time. Like I said, perhaps with the King of Cups and the Five of Cups could be a nostalgia for the past, a past romance maybe, or a past time with somebody who, you know, you really loved and maybe they passed away or something, or they're just not here anymore in your life. Because I mean, this energy did go through your 11th house of friendships and connections. So it could be you're reaching for the phone to like, you want to call somebody with some good news and they're unreachable for whatever reason. Is that going on for you? Let me know if that's happened for you recently. So that's kind of the vibe I am feeling here, especially too with this judgment, you know, that we have with this Saturn, this time in the Judgment card, you know, and, you know, time has passed. That's the other thing. The time may have passed, but that sadness with this Three of Swords, Five of Cups, it may come up. It may come up at this full moon lunar eclipse, and that's okay. You know, that's what, I mean, it's Pisces we're talking about. It's water. It's tears. So if the tears come up at this full moon lunar eclipse, it doesn't make you weak. And it also doesn't mean that you still can't enjoy and be happy with the other things that are going on in your life that are going well. You know, as humans, yes, we are capable of holding varying emotions at once. So these last 23 years, you have really been through a lot of very tough mental energy here with this Five of Swords, Two of Swords moon card. This Five of Swords, as you can see, I call her over here Mother Hell. We have moon energy, which can represent, of course, mothering energy, can represent home energy, and our tarot meanings of doubts and shadowy stuff that we got to work through. And so there could have been a lot of just heavy mental energy you were dealing with in association with this 11th house. It could have been a lot of mental stuck energy also in knowing the right way to go and pursue your hopes and wishes and dreams. Because maybe there was a lot of fear and doubt. Now, maybe that wasn't coming from you. It could have been coming from the people around you who made you feel uneasy to live your life and go for your dreams. Let me know if that happened for you in the last 23 years. And there could have just been a lot of, you know, internal anxiety. You know, that's the thing. I mean, this is an energy where I think you had a lot of doubt about a certain course of action that you wanted to take. I think you could have gone through, I think, some sort. This energy for me is very dark night of the soul. Like you went through a dark night of the soul. Also, I think probably with somebody you thought was a friend, and they might have betrayed you very badly. And there could have been mixed emotions and feelings about that as well, because maybe you still cared about them. Maybe they weren't worthy to be cared about, but you had your feelings for them. You still had the feelings and they were there. And, you know, what are you going to do? You have to just work through all of that. But this is, like I said, I think this is the energy that you were dealing with. This is not what's happening now. This is what you were dealing with in your past with these transits in this Pisces house, one after the other, after the other. And it took you a while to get to this sense of emotional, you know, equilibrium with this Sun card and the Six of Coins. And there might also have been, with this Two of Swords, Six of Coins that we're seeing here, there might have been a troubling legal matter that you were dealing with as well within this period. that also could have kept you emotionally and mentally on edge and wondering if you were ever going to be free from that particular situation. Your home life could have also been rather tense and stressful. Maybe you were dealing with somebody who loved to pick fights and argue with you. And also with this Five of Swords and King of Cups, there could have been somebody who was drinking a lot. That's very possible when we have a King of Cups here, and like to pick arguments and keep you on your toes and on edge, this type of thing. But like I said, at the end of the day, while there were Five of Cups, there was real sadness you worked through with these things. But you are now here. You are now here in this place where your heart is good and your heart's moving with a lot of emphasis on your well-being, which is fabulous. And there could be a new work thing that you're also involved with that is bringing a lot of emotional satisfaction. There's different layers and ways I read these 3-card spreads, okay? But this full moon, yes, could bring out something from the past, this judgment. And judgment can be something, news that you hear. It can be absolutely, somebody trying to resurrect a relationship, like maybe somebody who betrayed you. This could be classic full moon lunar eclipse. Somebody who betrayed you tries to come back and hit the reset button, whether business or personal. And you're like, no, I am way too darn busy, 8 of coins, to deal with this shenanigan. But at the same time, it's like when their text pops up or you see them on, social media or whatever, it does give that twinge. It gives that, why couldn't they have been a decent person? Or why couldn't they have gotten themselves together? Why did they have to be the way they were? Let me know if you go through that. Like we go through these things where, why couldn't things be different? But my belief is the contracts we have with people, the sacred contracts, the karmic contracts, whatever verbiage you want to use, it was ultimately there for this. Yeah, some of you, we have the Devil card under here. Some of you were dealing with a very heavy karmic contract with at least one person. There could have even been 5 with that 5 of Swords. They had 5 very heavy karmic contracts with more of the level of friendships. There could have been a marriage involved though with the guide. And at this point, yes, there could be a twinge of sadness, but in your ever practical, very Taurus way, it doesn't mean you don't care or you don't have feelings, because you do have feelings. You have very deep feelings. People do not realize how deep the Taurus feelings go. You're like, nope. I turn my back. Her back is turned. Her back is turned to this because you got beautiful things that you are working on here that are bringing balance, equilibrium, and joy to your life. So don't get sucked back into the past too much. It's okay. Sometimes you have to trip down memory lane. Maybe you cry a little. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. But keep those boundaries intact and don't let somebody, so there's a certain individual, there's a certain type of individual showing up here. Okay. And if you give one little inch to them, they'll bust down that door and, end up on your sofa and drinking your beer and eating your good snacks. And then you're like, WTF, we don't want that for you. That era is over. And Taurus, of course, when one era ends, naturally you start wondering, well, what is coming next? And if you want to understand the astrology of what's unfolding next in your life, my personalized stellar spotlight astrology reading is on sale through August 31st. You tell me what's going on in your life. I look at your natal chart and the astrology that's coming up, and I give you a 33-minute recorded reading to help you understand the energies and suggested ways of dealing with those, and then you decide how you want to use them. If that interests you, you will find the link below. Taurus, thank you so much for joining me today. Please share your story in the comments. Would love to hear what was going on for you for the last 23 3 years. Take care, and I will see you again soon. Stella Wilde, signing out.